She uploaded that messy picture, smiling so bright and completely clueless about his forearm. The minute she realized, cyber sleuths already saved the evidence. Game over, honey. Low-key, humiliatingly, and very publicly finished. The second the timeline zoomed in, their whole defense crumbled to dust. Let us rewind. The exact detail she tried covering up literally screamed the loudest truth, while his poorly chopped edit exposed the entire scandal. Let us unwrap this disaster everyone else overlooked, because this situation requires a psychological autopsy, not the basic commentary you're seeing everywhere else. Forget those superficial tattoo breakdowns. I am serving structural timelines and undisputed receipts. Why did his crop look so sketchy? Prepare to freeze, drop everything, and gasp in pure shock. We cornered him silently without a single statement, publicist damage control, or cryptic caption. He exposed his own secrets with one limb, one permanent mistake, and one strategic crop. Meanwhile, his clueless partner literally delivered the crime scene straight to the feed before jetting off overseas. Grab a beverage and sit down, because this drama is boiling over. Drop your immediate thoughts below the video right now. Drink up carefully. Before unpeeling these chaotic layers, understand one major thing. This drama transcends simple body art. Ink is just pigment. The real scandal is the memory that pigment aggressively clings to. The ghost that lingered when the replacement arrived. The absolute insanity of a woman branding her chest with his initials while he walks around flaunting his legal wife's entire face on his wrist. Talk about poetic tragedy. Hold on. Flashback, because the receipts require context. That foundation is already splitting open. Observe their curated narrative. The manufactured fairy tale they recite during press junkets, talk shows, and media appearances. Claressa Shields and Papoose allegedly locked eyes at that boxing match on July 6, 2024. Adorable marketing. A chance encounter, contact details swapped, and instant romance. Cue the happy ending. Except reality looks entirely different, and I am exposing the fraud. During a recent media run, Claressa Shields fumbled her script and admitted that Papoose populated her inbox way back in 2020. For whole years before their synthetic anniversary. 4 years prior to that boxing match myth. 4 years before anyone knew they existed as a unit. Freeze right there and process that timeline. In 2020, who was he aggressively, loudly, and contractually married to? The exact woman whose portrait remains etched on his skin in that tropical vacation upload. The woman inspiring his romantic tracks, dominating his press runs, and forming his entire brand as the ultimate loyal partner. This is no organic encounter. This is a calculated, multi-year, subterranean arrangement packaged nicely for the public. That is the initial fracture in their facade. But wait, things deteriorate rapidly from here. During that identical era, Claressa Shields was actively betrothed to someone else, flaunting her diamond online, screaming about her upcoming nuptials. Her fiancé was definitely not Papoose. She belonged to Tony Rich. Tony Rich was consistently bankrolling her career, attending her matches, and anchoring her corner. He literally sat ringside at that exact match she constantly references. He was standing there supporting her while the rapper she was secretly demanding for years was allegedly in that exact building locking eyes with her like some spiritual fate. Sugar, that is not fate. That is a messy scheduling conflict. But here is the exact detail that completely infuriates me. Cyber sleuths recently began circulating that old engagement footage, the obnoxious ring video. A massive portion of the audience assumed she was talking about Papoose, thinking that showcased their proposal, and absolutely no one set them straight. Not a soul. She allowed the public to swallow a completely fabricated narrative, and certain platforms claim she even shared it again to capitalize on the engagement. Look, I do not possess a law degree, but in reality, when you leave an active deception on the feed without deleting it, you are fully endorsing the fraud. Now focus very intensely. Process these two realities simultaneously, because this marks the exact second the entire illusion shatters completely. Reality 1. She was legally promised to a different partner. Reality 2. She maintained digital communication with Papoose throughout that identical time frame. That is not a fairy tale romance. That is an active entanglement, and entanglements inevitably unravel before the public. Now skip ahead to their tropical getaway, the specific upload that completely fractured the entertainment blogs. Visualize the scene. They are traveling right alongside Remy's actual birth date. A random fluke? Perhaps. We can overlook that detail for now. Claressa Shields being herself absolutely must share content, because without digital proof, does the trip even count? Is the partner even real? Is the romance even alive? So she publishes a picture in a standard couple stance, sitting directly on his lap, adding a caption about him telling her to sit there. Embarrassing? Absolutely, without a doubt. But keep that inside the inner circle that remains her concern. Our collective business, however, centers entirely on the contents of that specific image, because his upper limb is fully stretched out, completely exposed to the lens. Positioned on that skin, vividly clear and high definition under the algorithm is a portrait and a moniker. Remy's likeness and name remain completely intact, fully visible, highly defined, and screaming for attention. Sweetheart. She completely overlooked it, and he provided zero warning. The image went live, the digital world pounced, and copies were saved before the upload could even register. By the time her representation realized, massive commentary platforms were already rendering video breakdowns. No hyperbole intended, that specific graphic circled the entire digital landscape in less than 60 minutes. Here is the absolute wildest part. Papoose then shares the identical portrait. Same destination, same posture, same wardrobe, same exposure, same limb. Only on his profile, that permanent portrait vanished, sliced away, edited out, and magically removed into nothingness as if it never existed. Hold on, did you process that? He literally sliced his legal spouse off his own flesh to publish a photo with his current partner while leaving the woman fully exposed on the version his girlfriend published on her own profile. Ponder that reality for a second, because that single action exposes the entire internal hierarchy. He monitors the public perception, recognizing in that exact instant precisely where viewers would focus their magnifying glasses. He anticipated the clickbait, the remarks, and the media graphics. Consequently, his upload arrived sterile, polished, manufactured, and highly calculated, while her post represented the raw, unedited, authentic reality, and no one warned her. Ask yourselves with absolute honesty, why does the male counterpart navigate public perception flawlessly while the female counterpart consistently walks directly into the trap completely blind? Why does he remain insulated while Claressa Shields gets abandoned to handle the backlash across the public feedback panels? Why does he get to be the cautious one while she is left running chaotic crisis management on her timeline? Why is he exempt from answering questions while she is constantly forced into defensive mode? Because, honey, that is absolutely not a partnership. That is a completely lopsided public relations campaign where she serves as the solo spokesperson. Now, I promised you some exclusive insight, so prepare for this disclosure. Inside informants claim Claressa Shields covertly hid multiple original uploads over the following days, not the entire gallery, specifically focusing on the frames showcasing that ink with maximum visibility. The erasure was practically clinical, no public explanation, no statement, simply wiped as if it never existed. If digital archives didn't exist, you would honestly believe you hallucinated the entire situation. But trust me, the digital world maintains a massive vault of evidence and a directory reserved for future use, and that future always arrives. Let us examine her specific body art, because this particular imagery represents a profound tragedy. Claressa Shields explicitly stated she placed his moniker on her upper chest, directly above her heart, positioned precisely where her competitive athletic uniform obscures the branding so they could maintain total secrecy, hiding it, holding onto it, and displaying it purely on her own terms. Highly sentimental, correct? That is what she assumed, but halt the sentimentality for a moment, because she failed to even secure his legal name. She selected Papoose, not Shamil, not Willie. Papoose, the commercial moniker, the performance persona, the marketing asset, the dynamic character showcased to the general public. Let me ask you to deeply analyze this reality. What does it signify when you permanently etch a man's commercial trademark onto your skin instead of the actual individual, the performance, the marketing strategy, the theater? In analytical terms, that proves you fell completely for the production rather than the soul, the celebrity instead of the person, the advertisement rather than the actual artwork. Meanwhile, across his limb, deeply embedded in his flesh, remains his legal spouse's actual moniker, actual portrait, and actual identity. Not a commercial asset, not a brand name, not a performance piece. Her. Do you perceive the massive disparity yet? Do you recognize the ranking system? One individual permanently branded an illusion, while the other individual continues navigating reality with a real person. While we are dissecting this, let me introduce an entirely fresh perspective that has completely bypassed the mainstream commentary channels. Claressa Shields confessed, during that identical media appearance, that her original strategy involved waiting for legal matrimony before acquiring the ink, but she accelerated the process. She completely excluded him from the itinerary, fabricated a business commitment, visited the studio, secured the branding, and subsequently initiated a video call to reveal the development. He experienced total shock, laughed awkwardly, and expressed absolute disbelief. Freeze and process that sequence once more. She blindsided him with his own commercial moniker on her flesh. He never requested the gesture, never suggested the action, and possessed zero prior knowledge. She finalized the strategy entirely isolated, executed the plan, and delivered the outcome like a trophy. That, my audience, represents an asymmetric trial, not a mutual romance. The position she is actively auditioning for isn't romantic partner or legal spouse. The position is merely the replacement performer. Here is the absolute harshest reality. The occupant of that slot hasn't vacated the property yet. Her identification remains directly on the contract. Her portrait occupies the wall, and that original tenant is literally resting on his limb. Now, Claressa Shields continuously states during media rounds that she is destined for matrimony, labeling him her protector, her ultimate advantage, claiming he eliminates outside distractions for her benefit while maintaining absolute tranquility. Look, I refuse to ridicule an individual experiencing infatuation. Romance is a beautiful, deeply human experience that everyone deserves. What I am questioning with absolute objectivity is this. If the internal tranquility is so massive, why does she continuously require a public address system to broadcast it? Harmonious couples rarely require a megaphone. Centered individuals don't depend on digital validation to substantiate their relationship stability. Stable couples publish content once and return to reality. They don't share, hide, redistribute, defend, clarify, manipulate, and publish continuously. That, my viewers, is the explicit audio of an individual desperately convincing themselves out loud. My personal assessment, and I am entirely open to correction, though I am historically accurate regarding these specific dynamics, is that Claressa Shields is currently navigating the most visible emotional tryout of this era without even realizing her position. She assumes she secured the contract, signed the paperwork, and initiated the final sequence, but honey, the primary star is still listed on the production schedule. Before moving forward, I must address a reoccurring theme dominating the feedback sections, where viewers constantly question why the public targets her instead of his actions. You are completely accurate. That observation is entirely valid, so let us pivot the scrutiny toward his behavior and examine the receipts. As her partner, you possessed absolute awareness. You recognized the exact moment the graphic went live. You recognized that the artwork was fully exposed. You observed that her framing captured an angle you purposefully omitted from your own page. You anticipated the exact media firestorm that was bound to erupt. Yet you remained completely silent. You permitted her to upload it. You abandoned her to absorb the digital backlash. You left her stranded in the public feedback panels while you scrubbed your own timeline like a criminal fleeing a heist. That single reaction reveals absolutely everything regarding the true distribution of protection in this dynamic. Authentic companions prioritize mutual preservation. In this arrangement, a single party is being insulated, and it certainly isn't the individual with his trademark permanently branded onto her skin. Let us introduce a fresh angle, because our evaluation remains completely comprehensive. Whispers are actively circulating through the entertainment grapevines. For legal purposes, this commentary constitutes pure speculation intended for amusement only. Save your legal representatives and don't penalize my platform. Rumors suggest that the bond with his legal partner isn't as finalized as external narratives imply. Corporate registries, shared financial portfolios, and domestic arrangements allegedly remain deeply entangled, indicating their public split outpaced the actual judicial dissolution. I refrain from making unsubstantiated claims. I am merely broadcasting what the industry insiders are whispering, and those channels are incredibly active right now. If those rumors gain legitimate validation, that permanent portrait ceases to be an artifact of nostalgia. It becomes a declaration of ownership. It stands as a flag firmly planted, an occupied zone, a doorway left entirely unlocked, while the woman showcasing his corporate trademark on her chest is fundamentally locked out. Honey, she hasn't gained entry to the property. She is merely waiting in reception with an application form. Do not refresh your feed yet, because I recognize your attention span is drifting. Pay close attention, because the subsequent segment unifies this entire chaotic narrative. Why does this dynamic carry weight? Why are we dedicating digital space to this? Why do body art, framing choices, and tropical uploads dominate the mainstream media algorithms? This transcends their personal lives. This is a textbook case study. It serves as a tactical guide illustrating what occurs when one individual operates purely for the cameras, while the other navigates from a place of authentic reality. One executes a script, one experiences genuine emotion, one sanitizes the imagery, one extends blind trust, one calculates public perception, and one collides with public perception repeatedly. The genuine tragedy here is that Claressa Shields is an absolute titan. She is a decorated athletic champion, a pound-for-pound pioneer of her generation. She has dominated spaces that would easily break formidable athletes. She has sustained physical impacts that would incapacitate standard competitors, conquering career-ending injuries to claim victory. Yet outside that ring, she permits a partner who refuses to extend basic digital protection to stand beside her as if he is offering a charitable contribution. That specific element completely infuriates me, genuinely breaking my heart because inside the ropes, she remains entirely untouchable, while outside them, she is actively taking damage from a blind spot she failed to anticipate. Let me deliver an objective reality check, because the truth is required here. Sister, you do not need to continuously validate this connection to the public. Whatever narrative you are projecting, whatever illusion you are constructing, the collective audience perceives the reality. We analyze your movements, and we analyze his. Every single upload merely uncovers more underlying truth. At some juncture, you must evaluate who this production is truly intended for. Is it for the internet? Is it for his validation? Or is it for your own reassurance? Because, honey, excessive public overcompensation is merely the manifestation of internal uncertainty. I promise to leave you with intense cliffhangers, so consider these 3 mysteries while you evaluate the feedback panel. First, where is the remainder of that tropical media archive? The published snapshots represent a mere fraction of their travel files. Insiders claim additional records exist. So where do they vanish to? Second, what is Remy Ma's authentic reaction to this display? She has maintained a calculated, entirely strategic silence, and complete radio silence in entertainment news is never without meaning. It is an active weapon. Third, why does that permanent portrait still occupy his skin? Laser modification requires a few appointments, and cover-up adjustments take less than 2 hours. He possesses the capital, resources, and institutional access. What is the genuine motivation for preserving her image on his flesh? Evaluate those variables thoroughly, monitor the trajectory, and report back with your absolute instincts, because my intuition has flagged this arrangement for months, and the evidence is finally aligning with my theories. Focus intensely on this. My objective isn't to fracture an existing household, celebrate domestic chaos, or oppose genuine romance. I champion authentic connections, wishing prosperity for everyone involved. I want Claressa Shields fulfilled, Papoose secure, and Remy Ma successful. I want the entire circle thriving collectively. However, I absolutely refuse to legitimize this display as standard relationship behavior because it defies all normalcy. A partner preserving his wife's likeness on his skin while vacationing with a new companion is abnormal. A 4-year hidden digital correspondence repackaged as a spontaneous encounter is abnormal. Sharing past engagement media to cultivate false relationship milestones is abnormal. Securing a secret permanent brand as a surprise is abnormal. A companion who isolates his ex from his media while leaving his current partner exposed is abnormal. That constitutes a definitive behavioral trend, and behavioral trends inevitably dictate the final outcome. Let us finalize this analysis with the ultimate revelation. Historic adages claim you decipher an individual's character by analyzing what they refuse to relinquish. That wisdom transcends simple body art. It targets internal patterns, energetic attachments, and developmental chapters that should have concluded years ago but remain actively bookmarked. Papoose preserves Remy in his flesh because he fundamentally rejects total detachment. Claressa shields broadcasts every detail because she fundamentally rejects full acknowledgement of the reality. Both individuals stand on that shoreline projecting an illusion, attempting to convince themselves through entirely different narratives, while the collective internet simply applies a magnifying glass to the cracks. Fire off your evaluations in the comments below. Explain where my analysis aligns or where you disagree, because I scrutinize every submission alongside my beverages. If you consume this entire breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to this platform, and activate notifications to secure the next update, because a sequel is guaranteed. This entertainment saga is far from finalized. When the subsequent development surfaces, I will be stationed right here. Pull up a seat, alert your network, and transfer this directly to the group chat, because the season is just warming up. Monitor the timeline responsibly, watch the subtle movements, and understand that the media records always expose what the description attempts to obscure. Catch you on the next broadcast. Goodbye.